Let's get into the real background of like the local modern era of pot. So pre-COVID, a year and a half before COVID, a group of us sat down. We knew that the legalization was going to take place. Everybody knows I kind of fell off the radar for a while because I was working on this cannabis stuff for quite some while. With the people that we met with local politicians. We met with people out of Buffalo, people out of Syracuse, people out of Albany. Give me a second, I gotta find my dog. At that point, the law writers were everybody was all on deck to game plan. We're going to work on getting this passed. This thing was going to be done in 2020, and we all know what happened in 2020. I'm going to went all the way through the process. Everybody was signed, sealed, rocking, ready to go. Cuomo was going to sign off on it. Bingo, COVID hits. Everything gets put on the back burner. And that back burner sat around for quite a while because we were dealing with the chaos the rest of the country did. And I just noticed I look god-awful thin after this Indian deal with this medical thing. So I started this video, last week, and I took a look at myself, and I realized, with the health condition and everything I got going on, it's drastic. I've lost 30 pounds due to this illness, this diverticulitis, and the hernia. I haven't really finished the video. I was appalled at my appearance and the weight loss and the pain that this has caused, and that the date of my surgery was the date or the date I was supposed to see the surgery was the date of the raid. It honestly has killed me. It's crippled me. I can't move. I've had to cancel appointments, and it's like, how does the state even feel about this? Here we are. We're going on 3 weeks now. 3 weeks now. There's not an inventory sheet. There's not a seizure form. There's not a reason. There's not a rationale. It was a search warrant, search vehicles, but they didn't search them. They seized them. Here we are 3 weeks later. They didn't search these things yet. And why would you not be returning these things? And the lawyers have cautioned me on going public and going on the social media, but I don't feel that there's anything when it comes to pot. What do I have to hide? We tried everything, doing everything as legitimately and as straightforward as humanly possible, considering the climate of the state and what the state has intentionally done to people. What it's done to me over the last probably 3 to 4 years. Pot feels more illegal now today than it felt 3 years ago, and it's a scary thought. California, Colorado did these raids, these heavy-handed, drop the hammer on it. The feds were doing them years ago. And the feds finally, okay, let's back down. Now, New York State, they legalize it, and then they develop these tactics. And I've said a million times that, when I moved away to Pennsylvania for a while, you walk into the Pennsylvania municipalities, and I dealt with places, the county, the town of Wilkes-Barre, the city of Scranton. Pretty sizable developments down there. And every time we walked into City Hall, there was a genuine feeling when I walked in that these people are here to help me. And what can we do to help you? Mr. Brown, you're moving from New York and moving a tattoo shop down there, investing in the real estate. What can we do to help you? Where on the flip side, you go into administration, you deal with something here in the state of New York, and when you're dealing with the state of New York, it's a tooth-pulling match. You dread the experience of either entering City Hall or dealing with the state regulators. You're dealing with DMV. You're dealing with the OCM board, with these licensing on the cannabis side of stuff, and the way they've been treating this industry over the last couple of years. What causes more damage, alcohol or pot? I know for a fact from experience, me and alcohol, it's a barroom brawl every Friday and Saturday night. People knew me in my early 20s. That's what I did. When I started smoking pot, I can't remember the last fight that I got into. And the benefits far outweigh the negatives. But for this to be happening at a sign of the times that we're in, I'm going to continue to fight. And I'm going to do a disclaimer at the beginning of all this. Names and dates and actions, and part of it, we're going to call this fiction, because the lawyers don't want anybody taking or misconstruing anything that I say and turn around trying to use that against somebody down the road. When I don't think there's really a whole lot of people that are involved in this cannabis industry, from an industry standpoint, people that are really willing to pool together and say, hey, enough is enough. But this OCM board has got people crippled, has got people afraid, they're intimidated. Why are we intimidated by a governmental agency? We shouldn't be scared. I don't understand. It's pot, for crying out loud. So in lieu of talking to the attorneys, we are going to substitute names, dates, places, all those incidental things to keep people safe. And I mean, maybe this is a fictitious story. Maybe this is all fun and games, and we listen to some of the stuff that's taking place. I mean, some of the stuff is going to make you giggle. I mean, other stuff is going to make your jaw hit the floor. And it's like, why are we doing this in this sign of the times? I mean, pot is legal. Grandpa was growing it in his backyard 3 years ago. When New York State legalized, well, 2.5 years ago, when New York State legalized it, because it was false. You can legalize it, but you can't buy it. No matter where you buy it illegally. And that's went on for 2 years. All the farmers that invested millions of dollars into the state of New York, how bad did the state jerk these people around with the licensing and everything else? How many times did the state completely circumvent court orders where they don't allow cases to get into the court? This case, I'm going to insist it gets into court, because what they did to me, what they've done to people around me, and this unadulterated authority, it's got to stop. And it's scary what they're doing. And if the state police raid was based on a warrant, based on a statement, based on an affidavit, how come they haven't produced any of that? Not an inventory sheet, not anything. It's shameful. It's shameful. Are they making it up? Did I get robbed? I don't know. But I'm going to post another video and a follow-up later. Thanks for listening.